Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Lee's shift in loyalties has become one of the most unexpected developments in recent episodes. Finn and Steffy, who have every reason to be on high alert, find themselves looking at Lee in a new light, wondering if the person they thought they knew has quietly changed alliances or revealed a side of herself that upends everything. At the heart of this twist lies Lee's newly formed support for Sheila Carter, a woman whom Lee once despised. The repercussions of this alliance ripple through Finn and Steffy's world, causing shockwaves in their family, their marriage, their sense of security. As we dive in, consider what this means for Finn and Steffy. Trust shaken, alliances redrawn, and secrets that may push them into uncharted territory. Lee's evolution is more than personal. It challenges everything this power couple has built together. So what exactly is Lee doing and why? Let's explore the motivations, the fallout, and what this may mean for Finn and Steffy going forward. It all begins with Lee's past resistance. For years, Sheila has been a threat, a dangerous presence that Lee rightly fought against. We've seen Lee's fear, anger, and determination in the wake of Sheila's most violent actions. Finn and Steffy know the historic stakes. The memory of that chaotic alley behind Isle Giardino, the car chase, the explosion, the trauma, all tied to Sheila. Lee's reaction to that has always been one of hatred and caution. So the question becomes, what changed? What changed is Lee's dramatic turnaround. Not simply a softened stance. No, this is full-scale support. Sources suggest that Lee is now actively lobbying for Sheila's access to her grandchildren, for reconciliation, for forgiveness. The very person Lee once treated as enemy number one is now someone she defends. This is not small. This is seismic. Imagine being Finn or Steffy, hearing your mother or mother-in-law speak up for the person who threatened everything you hold dear. The shock alone must reverberate. To Finn, this is betrayal. To Steffy, this is betrayal. To both, it is destabilization. They have always assumed Lee's loyalty was solidly with their side. With them. Suddenly, Lee is embracing someone who stands on the opposite side of so many battles. What could motivate such a turn? One possibility. Lee's guilt over how she handled earlier trauma. Maybe Lee has seen a change in Sheila and wants to believe in redemption. Maybe Lee has discovered something new. Or maybe Lee simply wants to reshape her own life and her alliances. Whatever the reason, the implications are enormous. Let's unpack the emotional layers. For Steffy, Lee's shift feels like a breach. She has stood by Finn through so much. She has backed the marriage, the family unit, the children. And now the person who enabled that unit may no longer have her back in the way she thought. For Finn, he believed his mother's support was unwavering. He believed Lee's judgment of Sheila was infallible. Now he must question not only Lee's choices, but his own assumptions about Lee, and by extension himself. His identity as husband, father, son, is being upended. But the story doesn't stop there. There is the dramatic talk of Lee pushing for Sheila to gain access to the grandchildren, the young Hayes and Kelly. And this is where the stakes escalate. If Sheila gains grandmother privileges, Lee is effectively endorsing that. For Steffy and Finn, that's a nightmare scenario. Granting access to a woman with a documented destructive past, with violent deeds and a long list of offenses. If Lee lobbies for this, then she is shaking the foundation of the family's safety net. What are the possible motivations? Let's chart them out. First, Lee may believe in second chances. She may have been confronted by something in Sheila that she believes has changed her. This could reflect Lee's own growth, her own journey toward healing, for example, surviving the explosion, dealing with trauma, wanting to extend grace. 2. Lee may feel indebted to Sheila or owe her something, or perhaps Lee sees an opportunity in aligning with Sheila. 3. Lee may be responding to pressures we haven't seen yet, external forces, threats, blackmail, or hidden secrets that prompt her to side with Sheila. The show is giving us breadcrumbs, and the mystery is what Lee knows and what she's willing to risk. Now let's consider the impact on Finn and Steffy's marriage. A united front begins to fracture when one half senses the other half is losing footing. Steffy may feel her husband is caught between his mother and his wife, between the past and present, between loyalty and love. Finn may find himself pulled in two directions, defending his mother or defending his wife and family. On the surface, they may remain united. Underneath, the tension will grow. The trust fractures quietly at first, a look, a conversation, a withheld question. And soon those cracks widen. Beyond the immediate family, there's the broader ripple effect. Other characters, friends and foes, will sense that Lee is shifting. They'll react, trying to exploit the division, align with the new Lee. Sheila will sense her victory. Steffy and Finn will feel isolated. Lee's shift could open doors for Sheila's reintegration into the family, and that will terrify Steffy. She remembers the danger, the threat, the gun, the lies. She cannot forget. She may not let go. Yet Lee seems determined. The sources mention Lee observing Sheila's attempt to stay clean, to move forward, and believing in that change. She is increasingly close to Sheila behind Finn and Steffy's backs. The weirdness of this bond has become a central talking point. Lee seems to believe Sheila isn't the monster she once was, or at least wants to give her that chance. This does not sit well with Steffy and Finn, and as viewers, we sense the tension building before the explosion. Let's paint a scene. Finn walks into the living room. Lee is seated, speaking calmly with Sheila on speakerphone, setting up a meeting, advocating for grandmother visitation rights. Steffy enters. Her expression hardens. She asks, "What are you doing?" "You know what she did." Lee replies calmly, "I know. But people change." Steffy's shock deepens, not just at what Lee proposes, but at how unSteffy Lee seems to be. This is what the show plays out. The scene doesn't just shock. They freeze for a beat. The camera lingers on Steffy's stunned face, Finn caught in between. There's also the question of how Finn will respond behind closed doors. Will he side with his mother or his wife? Will he confront Lee and Steffy? Will he defend Sheila? Will he ask questions about Lee's motives? These are the fault lines the story is laying down. And the audience can't help but ask, will Finn and Steffy be able to withstand Lee's change of heart before it destroys them? The children, Hayes and Kelly. They are the innocents in this storm. Lee's push for Sheila to see them taps into the grandparents' rights trope, but in this case, with high-stakes danger. Steffy's protective instincts fire up. Finn's professional role as a doctor and father weigh heavily. The scene could easily pivot from corporate power plays to a maternal confrontation, Steffy standing in the driveway arguing with Lee about what's best for the children. All the while, Sheila smirks, knowing the seeds of discord are sown. Now we must consider the existential question. Is this Lee's genuine evolution, or is there an ulterior motive? Could Lee be manipulated by Sheila? Could she be unaware of an underlying plot? We cannot discount the possibility that Sheila is using Lee's trauma and vulnerability to worm her way back. Lee's near-death experiences, her brush with Sheila's violence, could make her vulnerable or emotionally liable. If Lee believes she saved Sheila or forgives her, Sheila might exploit that to gain her desired access. For many viewers, Lee's move reads like reckless, and rightly so. What she's doing is opening the door to chaos. But it also gives depth to her character, from someone driven by fear and rage, to someone willing to risk everything for redemption. Whether that pays off or backfires remains to be seen. The story is giving us hope, but mixed with dread. Let's talk impact on the audience. Many longtime viewers of the show have grown tired of repetitive cycles of deception and redemption. Lee's storyline here promises something new, a character arc that flips expectations. When someone like Lee, who once drew hard lines, crosses them, the dramatic stakes surge. Every look, every conversation feels loaded. Finn and Steffy become our stand-ins. We watch their reactions as we anticipate the fallout together. The brilliance of the writing is that Lee's move doesn't happen in isolation. It ripples across every relationship. Finn Steffy, Lee Finn, Lee Steffy, Sheila Finn, Sheila Lee. The alliances shift. The trust meter skyrockets. Viewers are left asking, who can you trust? And in this world, trust is everything. In reflecting on the bigger themes, forgiveness versus protection, loyalty versus change, safety versus risk, Steffy embodies protection. She wants her family shielded. Lee leans toward forgiveness, believing people can evolve. Finn stands between them, trying to honor both. But when your wife and your mother are pulling you in opposite directions, the only thing you can rely on is your own clarity, and Finn's that is muddy. Let me zoom in on an emotional beat. Steffy walks into the nursery where Hayes is asleep. Lee is there. She sits quietly, watching Hayes. Steffy enters and freezes. The silence punctuates the moment. Then Lee gently puts her hand on the crib. She says, "I'd like to bring Sheila by tomorrow. Let her meet Hayes." Steffy stares. Doesn't respond. Finn enters. Lee repeats the line. Steffy says, "Are you serious?" After everything. Lee answers, "People change." The tension is thick. The screen lingers on Steffy's face. Hurt, confusion, anger. For Finn, it's a silent question. How did we get here? In that moment, the story underscores one of the core questions. What matters more, past deeds or present promises? Lee is choosing present promises. Steffy is holding on to past deeds. Finn wants both. This triangle is what makes the storyline so rich. Finally, let's ask, where might this cliffhanger lead? There are two likely paths. 1. Lee's decision backfires catastrophically. Sheila takes advantage. Something terrible happens. Stand united. Steffy and Finn close ranks. Lee realizes she made a mistake, and they rebuild. 2. Lee is right. Sheila really has changed. And the family emerges stronger, the trust deeper, because they overcame this trial together. Either way, the journey will test the characters' hearts, their marriages, and their loyalties. In wrapping up, Lee's shocking move is not just a twist. It's a test. A test of marriage, a test of trust, a test of family. Finn and Steffy may be stunned now, but they also have a chance, if they listen, if they communicate, if they tackle this head-on. For viewers, it is thrilling because the rules we thought applied are being rewritten. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.